Sam Weber rubbed his tired eyes and glanced at the digital clock on his desk. 2:17 a.m., another late night of studying for finals. His small one-bedroom apartment was quiet except for the gentle hum of his laptop and the occasional car passing on the street below. Just one more chapter, he mumbled to himself, reaching for his coffee mug only to find it empty. With a sigh, he pushed back his chair and stretched, his back cracking after sitting hunched over for hours. The apartment wasn't much, a bedroom barely big enough for his twin bed, a combined living room and kitchen with a desk crammed in the corner, and a tiny bathroom. But it was all he could afford on his student budget. At least it was his own space, away from noisy roommates. As Sam shuffled toward the kitchen to make another cup of coffee, a faint buzzing sound made him pause. At first, he thought it was his phone vibrating, but it grew louder, filling the room with a strange electrical hum that made the hair on his arms stand up. What the? The air in the center of his living room began to shimmer, like heat waves rising from hot pavement. Sam backed against the wall, heart pounding in his chest. The shimmer intensified, twisting and folding until it formed a swirling vortex of blue-white light. Sam grabbed the nearest object, a baseball bat he kept by the door, and held it with shaking hands. His mind raced through possibilities. Hallucination from too much studying. Gas leak. Some weird dream. The vortex expanded, and then with a soft pop, it disappeared. In its place stood a figure. Sam's bat clattered to the floor. It was clearly not human. About 5 feet tall with silvery blue skin that seemed to glow softly in the dim light of the apartment. Its head was slightly larger than a human's with enormous almond-shaped eyes that shimmered with an intelligence that felt ancient. No visible nose, just 2 small slits, and a thin line for a mouth. Its body was slender, with 4 long fingers on each hand. An alien, an actual alien, was standing in his living room. But what struck Sam most wasn't the creature's appearance. It was its reaction. The moment the alien fully materialized and spotted Sam, it froze completely. Those large eyes widened even further, and its mouth opened in what could only be described as shock. For several heartbeats, they stared at each other in silence. Sam pressed against the wall, unable to move. The alien remained perfectly still, except for a slight trembling in its hands. It was afraid. Somehow, that realization cut through Sam's terror. This creature, whatever it was, seemed just as surprised and frightened as he was. Hello, Sam finally managed, his voice barely a whisper. The alien jerked back at the sound, nearly tripping over Sam's coffee table. It looked around the apartment wildly, as if searching for an escape route. "I'm not going to hurt you," Sam said, slowly raising his empty hands. "Are you lost?" The alien's gaze fixed on Sam again. It tilted its head slightly, then reached for a small device attached to what looked like a belt around its waist. After pressing several symbols on its surface, it held the device toward Sam. A soft mechanical voice emerged from it. "This cannot be. You should not be here. You should not exist yet." Sam blinked, trying to process what he'd just heard. "What do you mean?" "This is my apartment. You're the one who just appeared out of nowhere." The alien's fingers moved quickly over the device again. "Not location. Time. Your species. Development level." It gestured around the room. "Technology. Language. All wrong. Too early." "Too early for what?" Sam asked, curiosity beginning to overtake his fear. The alien seemed to collect itself, standing straighter. "I am what you would call lost. Very lost." Sam cautiously moved a step forward, his fear now mixed with fascination. The alien took a matching step back, maintaining the distance between them. "My name is Sam Weber," he said slowly, pointing to himself. "Do you have a name?" The alien touched its device again. After a brief pause, the mechanical voice replied, "Your verbal patterns are being processed. Adaptation complete." It tapped its chest with a slender finger. "I am called Xerx. Science Explorer, 3rd rank, from the planet Nebulon. Nebulon, Sam repeated, testing the word. That's not in our solar system, I'm guessing. The alien made a sound that might have been laughter. Your solar system is but a speck in your galaxy's outer spiral arm. Nebulon orbits a star you have not yet cataloged, approximately 87 of your light years from here. Sam's mind reeled at the implications. Actual confirmation of intelligent alien life, standing right in his living room at 2 a.m. If he wasn't so terrified, he'd be taking pictures for his science blog. Why are you here? Did you come to study us? Sam asked, gesturing to the window and the sleeping city beyond. Xerxes' large eyes blinked in a strange pattern. No. Accident. Serious malfunction in teleportation experiment. The alien glanced around the apartment again. This should not be possible. According to our records, humans at this technological stage should not exist for another 140 of your years. Wait, what? You've been watching us. Sam's voice rose slightly. Observing. From distance, standard protocol for developing worlds. Xerxes began examining objects in the room, picking up a pen with obvious curiosity. But records indicated primitive technology for this time period. No digital devices, no global communication, simple agrarian societies only. Sam laughed nervously. Well, hate to break it to you, but we've had computers for decades. The internet, space travel, even though nothing like what you obviously have. Xerxes set down the pen and moved to Sam's laptop, hovering a hand over it without touching. This suggests significant temporal miscalculation, or the alien paused, seeming troubled, or interference. Interference, like someone messing with human development. Sam felt a chill at the thought. Unknown. Concerning. Xerxes suddenly straightened, looking alarmed. My unscheduled arrival will trigger protocols. Search teams will come. More of your people? Sam asked, unsure whether to be excited or terrified at the prospect. Yes, but also, Xerxes hesitated. My presence here violates our most sacred law. No direct contact with developing species. I must not be discovered here. Sam ran a hand through his hair, trying to process everything. So you're saying you're in trouble because you accidentally teleported into my apartment? Correct. Severe consequences. For me. Possibly for you. Xerxes' voice, even through the translator, sounded genuinely worried. Sam took a deep breath, making a decision that felt both crazy and somehow right. Then we need to hide you. At least until we figure out what's going on. The alien's eyes widened again. You would assist me, despite the shock of first contact, despite potential danger. Sam shrugged, a small smile forming. Well, you don't seem like you're here to probe me or take over the planet. And honestly, this is the most interesting thing that's ever happened to me. For the first time, Xerxes' thin mouth curved into what might have been a smile. Humans, perhaps our records are wrong about more than your technology. The alien extended a four-fingered hand. I accept your assistance, Sam Weber of Earth. Sam reached out, hesitating only briefly before shaking the alien's surprisingly warm hand. Welcome to Earth, Xerxes of Nebulon. Let's get you somewhere safer than my living room. Sam closed the blinds and double-checked that his apartment door was locked. Xerxes watched with interest as Sam moved around the small space, gathering snacks and drinks. You need to stay hidden, Sam explained, placing a bowl of chips on the coffee table. If anyone saw you, it would cause panic. Xerxes nodded, examining the potato chips with obvious curiosity. Your species fears the unknown. This is common among developing civilizations. Can you eat our food? Sam asked, pushing the bowl closer. The alien waved a hand over the chips, and a small light on its wrist device blinked green. Analysis shows compatible basic compounds. No toxins detected for my biology. Xerxes picked up a chip and placed it carefully in its mouth. The reaction was immediate. The alien's eyes widened, and it made a strange chirping sound. Are you okay? Sam asked, alarmed. Taste sensation is intense. We consume nutrition differently. These sensory experiences are. Zerks took another chip. Fascinating. Sam smiled and sat down across from his unexpected guest. So tell me about Nebulon. What's it like? For the next hour, Zerks described a world that seemed straight out of science fiction. Floating cities powered by stellar energy, oceans filled with bioluminescent life forms, and a society that had eliminated resource scarcity thousands of years ago. No money, no jobs, Sam asked, trying to wrap his head around the concept. We contribute according to ability and interest. Technology handles basic needs. Our work is for discovery, art, improvement. Zerks gestured to its equipment. I chose exploration. Sam showed Zerks his smartphone, explaining social media, streaming services, and video games. The alien was particularly fascinated by music, listening intently as Sam played everything from classical to hip-hop. Sound patterns as entertainment, Zerks mused. We have similar traditions, though our hearing registers different frequencies. When Sam demonstrated his Bluetooth speakers, Zerks revealed something surprising. Primitive version of our communication technology. We transmit thoughts directly. The alien touched its temple. No misunderstandings. You can read minds? Sam asked nervously. Not without consent and specialized equipment, Zerks clarified. We respect mental privacy. As dawn approached, Sam yawned widely. Zerks noticed immediately. You require rest cycle. I apologize for disrupting your biological needs. It's fine, Sam assured him. This is worth missing sleep for. But I am curious, do your people sleep? We enter renewal state, Zerks explained. Briefer than human sleep. 10 of your minutes every 6 hours. Sam rubbed his eyes. That sounds sufficient. Zerks tilted its head. May I ask personal query? Sure, go ahead. You live in isolation. Is this normal for humans at your development stage? Sam laughed softly. No, most people have families or roommates. I just prefer being alone. Easier to study, fewer complications. Zerks seemed to consider this. On Nebulon, isolation is uncommon. Community connection promotes well-being. Yeah, well, Sam shrugged. I've always been a bit of a loner. The alien's expression changed subtly. Perhaps not so different from me. I chose deep space exploration. Months alone among stars. Sam felt an unexpected connection with the alien. Despite coming from completely different worlds, they shared something fundamental, a certain comfort with solitude, balanced against curiosity about what lay beyond. Zerks suddenly stiffened, holding up a hand for silence. The device on its wrist was pulsing with a soft blue light. What is it? Sam whispered. Incoming communication from my ship, Zerks said quietly, eyes fixed on the wrist device. They have detected the teleportation anomaly. They are searching. Sam felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. Is that good or bad? Uncertain, Zerks replied, looking up at Sam with concern. It depends on who finds us first. Zerks's wrist device emitted a series of rapid beeps. The alien's fingers moved quickly over the holographic display that appeared above it. What's happening? Sam asked, peering over Zerks's shoulder at the strange symbols flowing across the projection. Message from my research vessel, Zerks said, voice tense. Encrypted emergency channel. The alien's large eyes narrowed as it read. This is concerning. Sam felt a knot form in his stomach. What kind of concerning? Zerks turned to face him. The usual calm demeanor replaced with what Sam could only interpret as fear. My disappearance triggered security protocols. Ship sent search drones to my last coordinates. Isn't that good? They can help you get back, right? The alien shook its head slowly. Search activity attracted attention. Another species detected the energy signature. Zerks's voice dropped lower. The Vorax. The Vorax? Sam repeated. Who are they? Predatory civilization. They'd monitor developing worlds, eliminate potential threats before they reach space travel capability. Zerks gestured toward the window. They believe advanced civilizations compete for resources. Their solution is preemptive elimination. Sam's mouth went dry. Are you saying they want to eliminate us? Earth. Not yet. Current interest is me. Unusual energy readings. Zerks pointed to its equipment. But if they detect my technology here, they will investigate further. They will discover Earth's actual development level, which doesn't match your records, Sam said, connecting the dots. Correct. Discrepancy would trigger deeper investigation, potential classification as anomaly. The alien's thin fingers tightened around its device. Anomalies are eliminated. Sam paced across his small apartment, trying to process the implications. So these Voraks could decide to wipe out humanity just because we're developing faster than your records predicted. Simplified, but accurate. Zerx's device beeped again. My ship reports Vorak scout vessel entering your solar system. Estimated arrival time. 6 hours. Sam ran his hands through his hair, panic rising. What do we do? Should we tell someone? The government? Inadvisable, Zerx said firmly. Your governments would respond with military action. Primitive weapons against Vorak's technology would only confirm their assessment of threat. So we're on our own, Sam muttered. Not entirely. Zerx activated another function on its wrist device. A small component detached, expanding into a palm-sized sphere that hovered in the air. This is secure communication node. Can contact my ship without detection if configured correctly. And your ship can help. Possibly. Zerx hesitated. But primary concern is immediate. My presence here, my energy signature. Vorak's detection technology can pinpoint to within 50 meters. Sam's eyes widened as realization hit. My apartment building. Everyone here would be in danger. Zerx nodded grimly. We must relocate, and we must mask my energy signature before Vorak scanners detect it. How do we do that? Sam asked. I have limited materials, Zerx said, examining the components on its belt. Need specific elements to construct shielding device, some available in common Earth technology. Sam thought quickly. My friend Alex is an engineering student. He has access to the university lab, and he's trustworthy. He might be able to help without freaking out too much. Zerx considered this. Involving another human increases risk. But necessity outweighs concern. The alien looked directly at Sam. You understand the gravity of this situation. If Voraks discover Earth's true development, millions could die. Sam swallowed hard but nodded firmly. I understand. Let me call Alex. He reached for his phone but paused. Wait, can the Voraks track phone signals? Different technology spectrum. Safe for now. Zerx started gathering its equipment. But we must move quickly. Suggest minimal possessions. Nothing traceable. As Sam quickly packed a backpack with essentials, the reality of the situation fully hit him. Yesterday, he was just a college student worried about finals. Today, he was helping an alien evade detection by hostile extraterrestrials who might destroy humanity. Ready? Zerx asked, now standing by the door. Sam zipped up his backpack and nodded. As ready as I'll ever be. Alex Carter stared at Zerx, mouth hanging open. The young engineering student had responded to Sam's urgent call, meeting them at an abandoned storage facility on the edge of town. He hadn't believed Sam's frantic explanation until seeing the alien with his own eyes. You weren't kidding. Alex finally managed, circling Zerx cautiously. An actual alien. This is incredible. We don't have time for amazement, Sam said, checking his watch. According to Zerx, we have less than 5 hours before these Voraks reach Earth. Alex nodded, shifting into problem-solving mode. Okay, so we need to build something to mask its energy signature. What exactly are we talking about here? Zerx placed several small devices on a dusty workbench. These components generate specific frequency, need counterbalance wave pattern, destructive interference, like noise-canceling headphones, but for energy signatures, Alex said, eyes lighting up with understanding. We need to create an inverse wave that cancels out your natural emission pattern. Correct, Xerx confirmed. Need conducting materials. Copper, silicon, small power source. Alex emptied his backpack, revealing a collection of electronics, wires, and tools. I grabbed everything I could from the lab. Will this work? The alien examined the materials carefully. Sufficient for basic shield. Not perfect, but may reduce detection range from planetary to less than 1 kilometer. They worked quickly, Xerx providing instructions while Sam and Alex assembled the device. The alien's knowledge combined with Alex's engineering skills proved effective. 2 hours later, they had constructed what looked like a bulky wristwatch with exposed circuitry. Will it work? Sam asked as Xerx attached it to its arm. Testing now. The alien activated both devices simultaneously. A low hum filled the room, and the lights on Xerx's original equipment dimmed significantly. Preliminary results positive. Energy signature reduced by 87%. Alex grinned. Not bad for Earth technology. Their celebration was interrupted by the sound of tires on gravel outside. Sam peered through a dirty window and swore under his breath. Police car. Someone must have reported suspicious activity. Xerx immediately moved to a darker corner of the room. Alex hurriedly swept the alien components into his bag. The door swung open, and Officer Kate Donovan stepped in, flashlight sweeping the space. In her mid-30s with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense expression, she didn't look impressed by what she found. This is private property, she said firmly. I've had reports of trespassers and strange lights. Sorry, officer, Sam said, trying to look innocent. We're just working on a science project. University assignment. Officer Donovan's flashlight moved between their faces, then to the crude workbench. In an abandoned storage facility. At 4 a.m. It's an electromagnetic experiment. Alex explained quickly. Needed isolation from other electronic interference. The officer stepped further into the room, clearly suspicious. ID, both of you. As they reluctantly pulled out their student cards, Xerx's device emitted a sudden sharp beep. Officer Donovan's flashlight immediately swung toward the sound. Who else is here? She demanded, hand moving to her holster. Sam and Alex exchanged panicked looks. Before they could respond, Xerx stepped forward into the light. Officer Donovan froze, her flashlight illuminating the alien's silvery skin and large eyes. For a moment, nobody moved. Please do not alert others, Xerx said quietly. The safety of your world may depend on secrecy. Instead of screaming or running, Officer Donovan surprised them all. She let out a long breath and slowly shook her head. I knew it, she said almost to herself. 20 years in law enforcement. And I've heard things, seen things, reports that get buried. She holstered her weapon. You're not the first non-human I've encountered. Sam and Alex stared at her in shock. You've met aliens before? Sam asked incredulously. Let's just say this isn't my first rodeo with unusual visitors, Officer Donovan replied grimly. Now, why don't you tell me why you're really here, and what kind of trouble you're in? Officer Donovan listened intently as Xerx explained the Vorax threat. Her expression remained calm but serious as she absorbed the implications. So these Vorax will be here within hours. They're hostile, and they can track your energy signature, she summarized. And if they find you with humans who shouldn't be this advanced, they might decide to eliminate the anomaly, meaning us. Correct assessment, Xerx confirmed. Why should I believe any of this? Donovan asked, though her tone suggested she already did. Because you've seen things, Sam said quietly. You said it yourself. Donovan nodded slowly. 5 years ago, something crashed in the woods outside town. Official report said weather balloon. What I saw definitely wasn't a weather balloon. She turned to Xerx. Different from you. taller, darker skin. It was injured. Then men in black SUVs arrived, and everything disappeared. The crash, the being, even the evidence I collected. Governmental containment protocol, Zerk said. Common among developing worlds first experiencing contact. So what's our next move? Alex asked, checking his watch. We've got maybe 3 hours left. Donovan made a quick decision. We need somewhere more secure than this. I know a place, old bunker from the Cold War era. County uses it for emergency management storage now. It's mostly underground. Would help mask remaining energy signature, Zerks agreed. 30 minutes later, they arrived at what looked like an ordinary maintenance shed behind the county administrative building. Donovan used her keys to reveal a staircase leading underground. The bunker was filled with emergency supplies, communication equipment, and enough space to work. Alex immediately began refining their shield device, while Zerks attempted to establish secure contact with its ship. Signal blocked by underground location. Zerks reported with frustration. Need to transmit from elevated position. The water tower, Sam suggested. It's the highest point in town, and not far from here. Donovan shook her head. Too exposed. We'd be visible for miles. Suddenly, Zerks's devices began blinking rapidly. Alert. Vorax scout ship entered atmosphere. Multiple scanner drones deployed. Beginning systematic search pattern. How much time do we have? Sam asked. Search pattern suggests less than 1 hour before they reach this location, Zerks replied grimly. We need a distraction, Donovan said, already moving toward the emergency equipment. Something to draw their attention away while Zerks contacts its ship. Alex looked up from his work. I have an idea. If the Vorax are tracking energy signatures, what if we create several false signals? Like decoys. Zerks's eyes widened. Possible. Could reconfigure components to emit similar frequency patterns. They worked frantically, creating 3 small decoy devices using parts from the emergency radio equipment and Alex's supplies. Each would emit a signature similar to Zerks's natural pattern. Officer Donovan, and I will plant these around town, Alex explained. Sam, you take Zerks to the water tower to send the distress signal. What if the Vorax find one of the decoys? Sam asked worriedly. They will investigate but find no biological entity. Zerks said. Will cause confusion, delay thorough scan. As they prepared to leave, Donovan's radio crackled to life. All units, be advised. Multiple unidentified objects reported in Southwest Sector. FAA has no flight plans registered. Possible drone activity. They're here, Donovan said quietly, checking her service weapon. Move fast, stay low, and maintain radio silence from now on. Outside, the night sky was clear except for a strange shimmer to the west, like heat waves but vertical and moving with purpose. Vorax scanner drones, Zerks whispered. Visually cloaked but atmosphere creates distortion. They split up as planned. Sam and Zerks headed toward the water tower, while Donovan and Alex took the decoys in different directions. As Sam and Zerks reached the base of the water tower, a metallic sphere the size of a basketball suddenly descended from above, hovering silently 20 feet away. It rotated slowly, a red beam extending from its center and sweeping the area. Don't move, Zerks whispered, freezing in place. Vorax detection drone. The red beam inched closer to their position. The red scanning beam was inches from Sam's face when a loud explosion echoed from across town. The drone immediately retracted its beam and shot upward, racing toward the disturbance. Alex's first decoy, Sam whispered. It worked. Temporarily, Zerks cautioned. We must hurry. They climbed the water tower quickly, the metal rungs cold against Sam's hands. At the top, Zerks set up its communication equipment, fingers moving with urgent precision across the controls. Can you reach your ship? Sam asked, keeping watch for more drones. Signal transmitting. Awaiting. Zerks stopped suddenly as its device emitted a series of rapid tones. Connection established. Sending coordinates and situation report. Below them, the town was coming alive with activity. Police sirens wailed in the distance, and several homes had lights turning on as residents woke to investigate the commotion. "How long until your people arrive?" Sam asked. "Unknown. Depends on current position." Zerks adjusted settings on the device. Warning sensors detecting Vorax primary vessel entering lower atmosphere, approximately 12 minutes from our location. Sam's phone vibrated with a text from Alex. Second decoy triggered. Multiple drones converging. Officer D safe, heading to rendezvous point. The night sky suddenly rippled, like the surface of a pond disturbed by a stone. A dark, triangular shape emerged from the distortion, larger than any aircraft Sam had ever seen. "Vorax scout ship," Zerks said quietly. "More advanced than expected. Class 3 destroyer. Can your people handle something that big?" "Yes, if they arrive in time." Zerks's voice carried doubt. The Vorax ship hovered silently over the town, its surface absorbing rather than reflecting light. A section on its underside began to open, revealing what could only be a weapon. "They're targeting the decoy locations," Zerks realized. "But they will soon detect the pattern of deception." Sam felt helpless as he watched. Everything, his life, his town, possibly his entire planet, hanging in the balance. A new sound cut through the night, a high-pitched whine that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The air above the Vorax ship shimmered and tore open, revealing a brilliant blue vortex. "Nebulon Response Team," Zerks said, relief evident in its voice. "They received my message." 3 sleek, silvery vessels emerged from the vortex, surrounding the Vorax ship. No words were exchanged, no visible weapons fired, but the Vorax ship suddenly shuddered and went dark, drifting slowly downward before stabilizing. "What happened?" Sam asked in amazement. "Energy dampening field. Disabled their systems." Zerks watched as one of the Nebulon ships approached their position. "My people will contain this situation. The Vorax will be escorted from your solar system." As dawn broke over the horizon, Sam and Zerks met Alex and Officer Donovan at the rendezvous point. Above them, the alien ships had vanished, leaving only a few curious onlookers pointing at what news would later describe as unusual cloud formations. "The official story is already being circulated," Donovan said, checking her phone. "Experimental weather drone test gone wrong. People will believe it because they want to." "What happens now?" Alex asked. "I must return to my people," Zerks explained. "Your world will be placed under Nebulon Protection Program. Vorax will not return. And the fact that we're more advanced than your record showed." Sam asked. "A mystery requiring investigation." Zerks hesitated. "But not my last visit to Earth, I hope." The alien removed a small crystal from its belt and handed it to Sam. "Knowledge. Scientific advancements to help your species, and communication frequency, should you wish to contact me." "Are you allowed to do that?" Sam asked, surprised. "Rules have exceptions," Zerks replied with what seemed like a smile. "First contact protocols have already been broken, perhaps for a reason." Later, as Zerks prepared to depart in a small transport vessel that appeared silently in the clearing, it turned to Sam one last time. "Your species surprises me, Sam Weber. You faced the unknown with courage, not fear. Perhaps that is why you developed faster than our records predicted." Sam watched as the ship rose silently into the morning sky, eventually becoming just another point of light before disappearing completely. He looked down at the crystal in his hand, then up at the brightening sky. The universe had suddenly become much larger and more connected than he had ever imagined. And somehow he was now part of it.